Hello and welcome to this week's episode. It's slightly different. I'm going to take you guys for a look round No Frills New Digs. Okay, so I was majorly excited to see Meg's new place. I had followed Meg from the very start of her journey when she set up the very first No Frills store. And finally, because she's in Bristol and I was based in Kent and it is so far, I'd finally got the chance to go and visit when I moved down to Devon and took over as such press rep. Hooray! And Meg is one of my clients as well. So it's like best of both worlds. I get to go and play and squish yarn and call it work. And networking was great, huh? Anyway, they moved very, very excitingly from their previous premises to a new, bigger premises at the tail end of 2024. And I have been itching to get up there and go and visit and see what they're doing the place and see all the new yarn. I love Meg's vibe, all her natural fibre yarns. And the first time I visited, she just made me feel so welcome. Obviously, I was there kind of for work, but it felt really good as well. So I was really excited to finally get up and see, and I'm going to take you for a little look around. Come in with me. So the first thing you notice when you walk in are just the walls of colour. There's these handy baskets to help you make your purchases, and it was so tempting to grab one. There is so much natural fibre and so many yarns that I've not seen in person, if ever, very often. They've got chunky, you've got these gorgeous low-P yarns. I just had to squish. They're the sort you see podcasters using, but that aren't within my kind of touching capability usually. The natural colours are just gorgeous, and this was just the right side of rustic for me. I can easily plan sweaters and garments. I mean, look at that autumnal cubby just above these books. It's just gorgeous. I took my time. Everything is really clearly labelled. You know exactly what it is. It's got the brand, it's got the weight, it's got the price. This tweed was really beautiful. I was very drawn to the green with the little flecks of different colours within it. It's absolutely beautiful. Again, possibly a sweater happening in that. As an Erica Knight, and I used to stock Erica Knight, but I'd never seen that one. This one was very exciting. It was the Noro. And apparently there's a No Frills sweater using this Noro and a mohair. I missed the pattern. Meg did say it a couple of times, but I was too busy sort of gawping at the yarns. The fibres and the way they're spun is so interesting. This Sadness yarn, Cos, I was very, very drawn to. It's like a chain ply yarn with a tiny bit of a halo, and almost there's a little bit of luster to it. Here we are. What was it? 62% alpaca, 9% wool, 29% nylon. So a nice, sturdy, soft yarn. And again, I'm really drawn to greens at the moment. I could easily see a big cozy sweater in this. I'm going to have to get on with some of my projects, aren't I, and get them finished, because I've got my one visit to No Frills. I've got like 4 sweaters I want to make. This alpaca by Senna's yarn is so, so unbelievably soft. It's absolutely beautiful. Little bit of nylon in there, which is great. It would give it some structure, and maybe it can hold its own a bit better in cables and things. And the colour palette is so delicious. This one, this particular colourway in the Let Low P, really just made me gasp. The blues, the purples, the pinks all spun into it. There's such depth of colour and tone in this. I am definitely going to have to try some low P yarns going forwards. Again, I'm sort of mentally finishing projects so I can do it. The wild wool is something I've stocked before, and that knits up really beautifully as well. It's got nettle fibre in, which is surprisingly soft. You think nettle is harsh, but not at all. At this point, I'm trying to be a little bit careful because the shop was really busy, which is wonderful, but I'm trying really hard not to get people's faces in it. Now, pig in, so soft. 100% Norwegian wool. You'd think that it might be a little bit rustic, but I can just see cables and lace in this. Knitting for Olive doesn't really need any introduction. I must admit I was more drawn to All the Sadness Gone. This alpaca silk, how gorgeous would this particular one look as a drapey, boxy t-shirt, possibly with a little bit of lace detail? And the colour palette again. Knitting for Olives needs no introduction. The colour palette is beautiful. It's really soft merino. They stock Wool Matters natural dye yarns, and Meg pulled this off the shelf and said, feel this, she's done us 100% silk. And it's so unique. And the colours. I said to Meg, oh my God, I need a sweater in this. She said, you really do? I was like, I've got to, haven't I? She said, yes, you do. I can't use mohair without coughing, but I would totally put on a respirator to knit with this. Look at those colours. I haven't used Santa's Garn ever before, but it's definitely going to happen soon. And that is where my video stops. I know, not the best tour in the world, but the shop was getting so busy and I didn't want to pan out and take wider shots while people were in there. It felt very much obviously like an invasion of the privacy. Obviously Meg had said I could take some footage for the vlog, and let's be honest, we all love the yarn, right? The actual place itself is big, and there's going to be a really gorgeous long full-length counter across the opposite wall to where that wall of yarn cubby holes was, with more storage underneath. So they're just waiting on their carpenter to come back and do that for them. So that's going to be really cool. So next time I go, it's going to have evolved again. And actually, when I was there was a massive pile of boxes because there'd clearly been a huge delivery. She was saying to me actually that there'd been 400 kilos of yarn arrive recently. Yeah, they'd taken 400 kilos of yarn and were finding places to put it all. So it was definitely an exciting time. I did have a little rummage in some of the boxes as well to look at the new things that were coming in, because of course you do, don't you? Of course you do. So you've got, as you walk in, you've got this big windows at the front letting in lots of natural light, and you can take the yarn over. There's a mirror on one side so you can, you know, check the yarn colour and whether it suits you. There's a big table with a beautiful green gingham cloth, which is space going to be for socials, presumably for workshops, somewhere to sit and flick through patterns. And they've got a lovely corner right by the window with a cosy, inviting chair and a spinner of search press books. And they do have some Santa's Garn pamphlets on there as well with patterns. I could easily have spent hours there. As it was, I put 2 hours in the car just in case I went just over the hour, but I had to get to my next appointment. And this wasn't an appointment I had with Meg. I just was going so close to Bristol. I couldn't not dive in and have a look and have a squish and see Meg and congratulate her on her new premises. But it's just very inviting. And if you get the chance and you're in Bristol, go and see No Frills Knitting. They are so welcoming and the yarns are just such a treat to explore. They really, really are. So yeah, and hopefully I will go again, and maybe even to the social. I was hoping to go to the social today, but we've got a yellow weather warning on here in Devon, and it's it's the last day of the half term. We're all a bit knackered, and having just done a massive 8-hour drive a couple of days before, it was a little bit, didn't really work out for me, but maybe next time I'll go. I think they're having one possibly in the summer, so we'll see. Anyway, tell me about your favourite local yarn store. Pop your comments below. If you are in a different country to me, tell me where you are. And if I happen to, I don't know, win the lottery or win the trip of a lifetime, where should I go? What do you love? Tell me the most welcoming yarn shops, a place where you just go and feel good. I'd love to know. All right, take care. Bye.